So now it is December 3rd morning. It's still morning. And I'm probably going to leave another December 3rd night because the 4th day is when the eviction process supposedly starts. So this morning, early morning, I would just, my eyes opened. I think I kept waking up like every 2 hours last night because So around early 6-ish this morning, when it was still kind of dark, the sun wasn't out yet, I kind of opened my eyes and I'm just in gratitude with this beautiful place that I have. Even though right now it's a mess because my brain has not been organized because of what I'm going through, but yet it's still beautiful to me. And I just wanted to listen to some great words. So when I read those scriptures the night before, I actually recorded myself. So I played it again this morning so I could hear myself versus me going to a social media channel to listen to somebody else. I can just listen to me. And then I did listen to a gratitude affirmation this morning. And I remember I said, you know what? It's the 3rd day. Let me see if anything is in my door, right? Because when you're late for your rent, this is my first time going through this, but I've seen other people. So at first I was going to do it the night before. I was going to do it really late, maybe around 1 a.m. But I said, let me not do that because a neighbor across from me, remember I said this in a different video, has a Ring camera. So if I had opened my door, it would have triggered them to see, that would have alerted them to see what's going on, right? Versus if I wait the next day where people were probably going to pass their door to walk, to walk to their car to, go to work, it wouldn't trigger them as much. So that's why I waited. So it's now 6 a.m. And I remember I opened my door really slow because I didn't want to open it all the way. I just wanted to open it to see if an envelope would fall. And when I opened it, no envelope fell. So I didn't even open it all the way. So, on their Ring camera, they probably just saw the door open slightly, then closed. Probably like a ghost or something. So I'm saying that to say, remember going back to my other video where I said I snitched on myself and I told, before I say, okay, let me not say that yet. So there's nothing that fell on the ground, right? And I then went back to my area and I just started talking to the Lord again. And the sun was slightly coming up. It was still a nice ambiance. And I opened my blinds to see the beautiful balcony that I have. And I was just talking to him and say, I don't see an email, Lord. I don't have a phone call. Please give me a sign, right? Tell me what to do. I'm in your hands at this point because I literally don't have control at this point. And the cutest bird came and flew and stopped on my balcony. What is it? The balcony thing, to not make people fall over. And I felt like he was looking at me. I don't remember. I'm not saying, birds haven't been on my balcony, but it's been a long time. So I took that as a sign. I'm like, oh my gosh. And I think I recorded. Let me interject it right now. So that was a bird. And I'm like, oh my gosh, is that the sign, my Lord? And I just felt like it was a sign that everything would be okay. Because to this day, this is the 3rd, I still don't feel the need to call movers, not that I can afford them right now anyways, but to call them to schedule to move my things. I don't feel it. And it's a very scary thing to not know what's going to happen. So the bird, eventually flew away and I was still talking to him for a little bit more. And then I felt guided to call my leasing office, corporate office. I don't know why. I guess because when I first got this place, that's how I got introduced to this location. Like I was just looking for a place. Not that I wasn't desperate at that time, but I was just looking because I would love to live in this neighborhood. And I was calling around different apartments, went to go see a whole bunch of apartments. And then this one phone number stumbled onto my screen. And when I called them, they said, oh, they do corporate leasing. I'm like, what is that? And then they told me that they both have, they have options at a location, and the price point was something that I already had on my vision board. I'm like, oh my gosh. So that's how I got introduced to this location, because of the corporate office that I stumbled on. So full circle, I said, let me call them, because of the direct leasing office didn't respond to me back in the email about a program, even though I had asked. Called the corporate office, and they were nice, but they said, all they could do is just send this information back to my location. So I said, okay. Came off the phone, felt defeated. So I tried to call another rental assistance here in the States, and they gave me some resources after waiting for like 15 minutes on, we call these government places, their whole time is so long. Where the guy I spoke to, he was really nice. And all throughout this process, when I talk to people, they're so nice to me, right? I want to state that. Even really quick, going back to yesterday, the second, where I spoke to one of the credit card individuals, two of them. I remember one person, because I couldn't afford the amount they were telling me to pay at that time. And then she gave me a program where it was still too high for me. And I'm like, well, I can't. And then she was like, she was, as I felt like she was like, not begging me, but like trying to plead with me. You don't have to do it right now. You could push it to a different date. I just have to lock you in here so you can get the lower amount. And she pushed it down even lower. And I'm like, this is how God is working, right? So she was really nice. And then the guy that helped me with the other credit card, initially I didn't get him. I got the main center, and then they transferred me to that department that helps, with these type of programs. And he was so nice. Oh my gosh. So all of that happened. So after I spoke to the assistant that gave me some resources, no one answered, because one company said that they're not taking any applications right now. Another one said they don't even talk to the public. And it's like, then why are you on the list? Or taking the information from the public. And then I left a voicemail for two other centers. And I'm like, well, I don't know. Then check my email again to see if anything popped up. And then I wanted to get to this part. So remember when I told you that I opened my door briefly this morning to see if an envelope would fall? I did that around 6-ish. And something made me come again to look through the door peephole around 10-ish. And the next door neighbor that has the Ring camera, they have, and it's not funny, but it's just like, they have an envelope in their door. I was so concerned that I'm going to have this envelope in my door and their Ring camera is going to pick it up, and, just me just feeling shame. And it's as if God is like telling me, like slapping me on my hand, like, be quiet, my child. Stop thinking that, people would even care, or whatever the case is. I don't even know what I'm saying right now. But the fact that they have an envelope in their door. So I said, oh my gosh. So they probably start coming around now. So I'm like, well, maybe they didn't come, of course, 6 in the morning, because it was 6 in the morning, right? So I opened my door briefly again just to see if mine would fall. And I briefly opened the door. No envelope.